So I go to get my hair cut the other day and I sit down, speak to my barber, chat, small talk like we usually do. And he speaks to me about the UFC last week and oh, great car, blah, blah. Man, I'm excited for Jon Jones to come back to the White House. Isn't he the greatest fighter ever, man? He is the GOAT. And I look at him and go, the fuck are you on about? The greatest fighter in the UFC cannot be a fucking PED cheat. When you really look at Jon Jones's career, he is overrated and he's a fucking PED cheat. A PED cheat cannot be the GOAT of the sport. In what sport is a PED cheat the GOAT? It's a completely different story in MMA. There is no sport in the world like MMA. MMA, your goal is to hurt someone. These PEDs can assist you to fucking ruin their livelihood, your opponent's livelihood. Your fighting is your career. It is not your life. When you're done fighting, when you're 35, when you're 36 and you retire, you can be brain damaged because some like Jon Jones said, you know what? I want an advantage and took PEDs like a moralist. A PED cheat cannot be the GOAT of the sport. I am done talking to people about this. It is so simple. Jon Jones has cherry picked almost every single one of his fights. He has had the advantage in almost every single one of his fights and in more ways than one. Jon Jones has always been the biggest light heavyweight in the roster at every point in time. He has been the biggest light heavyweight in the roster, fighting middleweights, natural middleweights. He has been fighting middleweights for half of his career. Chael Sonnen, Vitor Belfort, Glover Teixeira, these are all natural middleweights who have fought at middleweight once. Jon Jones could not make middleweight to save his fucking life. Jon Jones has had the longest reach and an age advantage in almost every single one of his fights. You look at his opponents in every single one of his fights up until recently, he has had the age advantage and reach advantage. Even if you put aside his physical advantages and his cherry picking, he is still a PED cheat. You cannot be the GOAT if you use PEDs. He has been caught 3 times with PEDs. He's only been caught 3 times. Imagine how many times he's actually done it. There's a difference between using PEDs in soccer, golf, basketball to MMA. Your goal in an MMA fight is to injure and hurt the other person. Jon Jones, with his PEDs, can have the advantage of endurance, power, and recovery. Fighting is just your career. When you are done, you still have half your life, your one and only life to live. And PEDs, Jon's PEDs, can injure his opponent's livelihood. Somehow, the UFC does not give a fuck. Dana White is in press conferences consistently talking about how Jon Jones is the GOAT. He protects Jon Jones like he is his fucking long lost son that he had with a black woman after slapping his wife and then cheating on her. He protects her like he is his fucking prize chest in his fucking garage. He does not give a fuck. Even if you can get over the fact that Jon Jones is a PED using scum and he's had the advantage in every single one of his fights, his wins are extremely overrated. He got blessed a win against Reyes. He couldn't beat Thiago Santos on one leg. Thiago Santos had to get double knee surgery after that fight, and he couldn't finish him, and he took him to a split decision. Could not finish Anthony Smith the entire fight. Anthony fucking Armadillo Smith, yes, the guy who crawls up into a ball on the ground anytime there's any adversity in the cage. He almost lost to Alexander Gustafsson. That was his closest fight ever. And the time where he rematches him, he gets caught for PEDs. And don't even get me started on the fights with Daniel Cormier. The first fight, good win. Second fight, he is booked to fight Daniel Cormier on UFC 200 and he pops for 2 PEDs. Then the fight gets rescheduled for UFC 214 and guess what happens after the fight? He wins. Good win. But guess what happens after the fight? He pops for PEDs again. Every time he needs to fight an elite competition like Daniel Cormier, his best win on his resume, he pops for PEDs. And I do not understand how Dana White and the MMA community can promote this guy like he is the GOAT and such a good person to look up to. You know, when you have kids, you can look up to this guy and say, wow, you know, I really want my kids to be like this. Jon Jones is the fucking scum of the earth. He has had a hit and run on a pregnant woman, a DUI. He's hit his wife. I shouldn't have to say more, but I do. He's had drug charges, gun charges, PEDs. There is so many factors to how much of a lowlife this person is, yet people defend him everywhere, talking about he is the GOAT, and they want him to represent and be the face of the MMA world. It isn't hard to be in the GOAT conversation and not do PEDs or not be controversial in that matter. Look at someone like Khabib, never been caught doing. It isn't hard to be in the GOAT conversation and not do PEDs and not be controversial. Look at someone like Volkanovski, Islam Makhachev, GSP, Mighty Mouse. You look at these fighters and you tell me they are all respectful and they've also never done fucking PEDs. This should not even be a conversation anymore. If you have half a brain and you understand the sport to the smallest degree, Jon Jones should not be your GOAT. Jon Jones isn't even in the conversation. He shouldn't be nowhere near this sport and he should not be the face of this sport. He should have nothing to fucking do with this sport.